Jamii nyingi za Kiafrika bado zinaendelea kuwaweka kando watu wenye ulemavu.
Maasai is a tribe known the world over for its fierce warriors who are reputed to be strong, brave, and majestic. Many stories have been told of how the warriors have hunted and killed wild animals like the dreaded lions when they threaten their livestock. The Maasai stand tall, handsome, and full of bravery. They are the envy of many tribes and have become a major tourist attraction. However, as the saying goes, not everything that glitters is gold. Despite these positive attributes, the Maasai tribe has a dark and hideous side. They still embrace backward customs and practices which violate human rights. The Maasai are alleged to kill disabled members of their community. This practice has led people around the world to believe that there are no disabled people among the Maasai, as there are in the other tribes, since one never gets to see them. On the contrary, the disabled are part and parcel of the Maasai tribe, but they are forced to lead a life of misery as a result of segregation, neglect, stigma, and even having their lives terminated. This can be attributed to lack of appropriate knowledge about disability and how to look after the welfare of the disabled people in the society. To address this problem, the Roman Catholic Church in Arusha Central Diocese has set up a rehabilitation center for the disabled in Monduli, and as a result has changed the mindset and wrong perceptions among the Maasai, who for many years have regarded the disabled as a curse in their families. Nanywaku Orumuindi is one of the few disabled children who managed to escape death following neglect by her family. She was abandoned in a manyatta in the hope that she would die, as the family could not condone living with her in her condition. The family regarded her as a bad omen, and they opted to leave her and proceed to Mount Odonyo Lengai in Egaruka village, Ngorongoro district, where they resettled with their livestock. She was rescued by a Good Samaritan who tipped officials at the Roman Catholic orphanage. As the head of village clinic department, Miss Magdalena Shangai explains.
Mtoto huyu Nanywaku Orumuindi kutoka Ngaruka chini wilaya hii ya Monduli.
We were tipped by Good Samaritans that there was a child who had been abandoned so that she could die, since there was nobody to take care of her. All her relatives left with all their livestock in search of pasture around Mount Odonyo Lengai. Her mother had died while giving birth to her, and the father had disappeared a long time ago. She was therefore living with her brothers and sisters under the care of their grandmother. After getting the information, we went to the said house, which was in a remote area that could only be accessed by foot. We found her in deplorable condition, and at first we thought she was an animal because of the way she was crawling on her stomach. She was very dirty and had scales all over her body. She was starving, and she was partly paralyzed. We took her to the center where she has been taken care of to now. Apart from her leg paralysis, she is also mentally retarded. Another disabled child who also narrowly escaped death is Nalandai. She was rescued by a health clinic attendant for Waso village, Loliondo ward, Ngorongoro district.
Nailandei ametokea kijiji cha Waso wilaya ya Ngorongoro
The story about this child came from the basic health coordinator of Waso village, who was informed by well-wishers about the murder plot by relatives who regarded her as a curse and a burden to the family. When neighbors learned of the plan to kill her, they came to us with information, and thereafter we managed to rescue her by smuggling her here in the center.
Walimpawa taarifa na ndugu, yani majirani, kwamba mtoto huyu alikuwa anaenda kuuawa.
Zawadi Joseph is a student who is now studying at Singida Technical College and whose fees are paid by the center. She has been neglected by her parents because of blindness, and since she arrived at the center way back in 1994, none of her relatives have even come here to visit her or inquire about her well-being. I've been here since 1994. I am from Ngorongoro district. My parents do not want to hear about me because to them I am just a curse and a misfit in the family. My humble request to parents with children like me is that they should care for them and shower them with love and understanding. They should take them to school to get education. If disabled children are empowered, they can make it in life instead of being locked up or neglected. Since 1990s, this center has been educating the Maasai community to discard such negative practices which discriminate against the disabled. We encourage them to bring all those with disability to the center for treatment and learning instead of locking them up. It is out of such efforts that Mzee Lesioki Lekasio decided to come out in public and request for help from well-wishers so that his disabled child could get education. He also admits that disabled people have been killed in his community.
Anakaa kama mwezi minne ndio.
The problem with this child started when she was just 4 years old, whereby she could not sit properly like other children her age. When her situation deteriorated, we decided to go to hospital. I have been referred to many hospitals and many centers for disabled, but the situation has not gotten any better. I now don't know what to do next, and I have now run out of money for taking care of her. I have now decided to bring her back home to wait for her death. She does not disturb, but she cries a lot, especially when she falls sick. In the old days, the disabled were abandoned in huts where they could starve to death or would be eaten by wild animals like hyenas. Others were clubbed to death. I would really appreciate if someone out of there can help this child, as I am unable to do anything else now. I do not have the power to take her to heaven. I cry for this child because of the pain she is going through every day. I am really in anguish, and I can help crying because of the suffering and hardship she is going through.
Lakini ikipata njaa kulia analia unampa chakula nala kwa mtu ambaye ananisaidia huyu.
Despite the commendable effort by the center, Miss Magdalena says the practice of killing disabled people is still continuing in secret in Maasai land, and that what is reported in the media is just a tip of the iceberg because of the secrecy involved. When a disabled person dies, and you try to inquire how they met their death or whether they had fallen sick, nobody gives you any satisfactory answer. You will just hear that a certain child has passed away and no one is willing to volunteer any more details. This suggests that more education is needed among the Maasai. We're calling on the government, various organizations, institutions, and society to join hands in combating this vice.
Jamii yenyewe bado inafanya kama siri, ni kuficha, ni kitu ambacho wanaficha kwa kweli.